It's day 3 of this little private journal experiment, and I'm so glad you're here with me. It feels a bit like we're all sitting around a campfire, just sharing stories. It's pretty cool. Today was interesting. It started with a kind of internal storm, you know those mornings, where you wake up and your mind is already racing 100 miles an hour, filled with all the what ifs and should haves. Yeah, one of those. I found myself staring at the ceiling, feeling this heavy weight of anxiety just pressing down. It was all about the future, this big, foggy unknown that felt more like a monster than an opportunity. My first instinct was to just pull the covers over my head and declare the day a write-off. But then I remembered why I started this whole thing. It's about being present, about not letting those runaway thoughts dictate my day. So I forced myself out of bed. I didn't try to solve all the world's problems right then and there. I just focused on one tiny thing, making a really good cup of coffee. The smell of the beans grinding, the sound of the water pouring. It's a small ritual, but it grounded me. It brought me back to the here and now, to the simple fact that, in that moment, I was just a person making coffee, and that was enough. After that small victory, I decided to take a walk. No destination in mind, just walking. I left my phone at home, which felt both terrifying and liberating. At first, my brain was still buzzing, replaying all those worries. But as I walked, I started to notice things. The way the sunlight filtered through the leaves of a huge oak tree, creating these dancing patterns on the sidewalk. The sound of kids laughing in a distant playground. A little old lady meticulously watering her roses, each one a burst of crimson. It sounds cliché, I know, but it was like the world was turning its volume up, and the noise in my head was finally starting to fade. I realised how much I miss by being constantly trapped in my own thoughts, worrying about a future that hasn't even happened. These small, beautiful moments are happening all around us, all the time. We just have to be available to see them. That walk shifted something in me. The anxiety didn't just vanish, it's not magic, but it loosened its grip. It became less of a monster and more of a shadow. Still there, but not so all-consuming. I came home feeling lighter, clearer. I even managed to tackle a task I'd been putting off for weeks. Not because I suddenly had all the answers, but because I had given myself the space to just be. Later in the afternoon, I got an email. It wasn't great news. It was a rejection for something I had really hoped for. My immediate reaction was that familiar sting of disappointment. The old me would have spiraled. I would have let it validate all my morning anxieties, telling myself, see, you were right to worry. You're not good enough. It would have ruined my entire day, maybe even my week. But today was different. I read the email, took a deep breath, and allowed myself to feel the disappointment. I didn't push it away or pretend it didn't hurt. I just sat with it for a minute. And then I remembered my morning walk. I remembered that my worth isn't tied to one yes or no. It's not defined by my achievements or my failures. It's something more constant, more quiet. So, I did something I wouldn't normally do. I wrote a reply, a simple, polite email, thanking them for their time and consideration. It felt like closing a door gently instead of slamming it shut. It was an act of self-respect. It was me telling myself that rejection is just a part of the path, not the end of it. It's a redirect, not a dead end. And honestly, it felt incredibly empowering. As the day winds down, I'm sitting here thinking about it all. Today was a perfect example of how life isn't about avoiding the storms. It's about learning how to navigate them. It's about finding those little life rafts you reach calmer waters. I've realised that being strong isn't about never feeling anxious or sad. It's about feeling those things and choosing to be kind to yourself anyway. It's about finding the courage to take the next small step, even when the bigger picture is scary and uncertain. Today, my small steps were making coffee, taking a walk, and answering an email with grace. And you know what? It made all the difference. The day that started with a storm is ending with a sense of quiet peace. I guess the big takeaway from day 3 is this. Our internal weather is just as variable as the actual weather. You can't control when a storm will roll in, but you can choose to find shelter. You can choose to look for the rainbow after the rain. And most importantly, you can remind yourself that no storm lasts forever. The sun will come out again. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings again today. It means a lot to share this space with you. If any of this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. How do you handle those stormy days? Sharing our strategies might just help someone else find their life raft. If you're enjoying this journey, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It lets me know that this is something worth continuing. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Bye for now.